So I hope this is gonna work because they started drilling and making the scaffolding in front of my building, and this is gonna last for months, and I cannot afford um, not to talk to you and not to make videos. So today I have an important message, and that is the other day I met someone during a salsa festival, and we started to get to know each other, and he's like, when is the last time you had a relationship? And I'm like, well, it's been a few years. Why? What's wrong with you? So I want to talk about that because as we go into spiritual awakening and we dive deep into it, likely you're going to be alone for an extended period of time. And not because you're not attractive, that you're not that you're crazy or something is going on mentally with you. It's just because you're not gonna want to be in a relationship because you're working on yourself. You made a conscious choice to go deep into the awakening journey, and you just decided that I'm gonna take this time for me. And I think for me that ended up being 7 years. I had some short term relationships in between, um, but they weren't gonna last because we were just on such a different path, and I just found myself having difficulty connecting with them because they didn't understand what I was going through. And it's funny, but I want to talk about that because in this society, it is very common that when you're alone, it seems like there must be something wrong with you. There must be something wrong with you because you are alone. Now let's think about that. Let's talk about that. That is awfully wrong, and also I would think the opposite is true. Have you ever been alone? I would ask, what is wrong with you if you have never been alone? How do you know who you are? How do you know yourself? You don't. But in this society, if you're not in a relationship or you have not been in a relationship for a long time, there must be something wrong with you. So we're driven by this society and cultural norms. They're basically telling us how to live and telling us what to do. And it's not if it was it would be one thing if it was the right path, but it's not the right path to begin with. It's not, it's not okay to be going from a relationship to a relationship from the time when you're 19 and then succumb to whatever the society pressures are for you to have kids and be with someone and continue on until the end of your life. Meanwhile, you've never took the time, you've never given yourself an opportunity to be alone. And it's only when you're alone that you can actually sit with yourself. You can connect with yourself. You can connect with your inner child, connect with your higher self, go through the deep work that needs to be done that will help you in your future relationships. Because if I didn't, I'll give an example of myself. If I didn't stop the cycles that I was going through from one relationship to another relationship, from one to another, all under this pretenses that I need to be in a relationship because time is running out and I need to have family and kids, and I'm getting older and I need to find someone, and what if I grow old, and what if I die alone? But the truth is, if I was just to continue on by this path, I would still be with a narcissist because I didn't work on myself. And I was connecting and trauma bonding with the narcissist because of my father wound that I would have never known to look into until I was alone and I was able to actually have the chance and have the time to sit with myself and resolve the issues that I had from childhood. And of course, I'm not done. And now it's only now, after all of these years, that I'm ready to finally be in another relationship. I was ready for a little bit of time already, but it's only now that I'm ready. And by the way, my work is still not done. I still have some ancestral traumas and past life traumas that I'm resolving, but at the minimum, I have resolved my childhood traumas from this life. And I know that I'm not going to be in a relationship with another narcissist or another toxic person. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to attract them or that they're not going to be attracted to me, because normally they do target empaths, and they do target people who are kind and who have the light in themselves, just like you. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to fall for it anymore. And I would have if I was still an unhealed version of myself. So, all this to say is, don't get into a relationship because the society wants you to get into a relationship, because it's time, because time is running out, because you're getting older, you don't want to die alone, because your parents want grandkids. None of that. Get in a relationship because you are a conscious, healed person who wants another conscious, healed person to choose a relationship consciously that is kind and loving, and to be together, growing together, and being able to communicate and talk and resolve issues, and both consciously work on this relationship. Not because you're bonded on traumas, not because you have an unhealed version of yourself that doesn't feel worthy of love, or that doesn't feel worthy of being with someone who is healed, who is a better version of yourself, or because you have an abandonment wound. Whatever the issues from childhood that you have, don't be in a relationship based on those issues. Choose a relationship consciously after you have healed. And the only way to heal yourself is to be alone. And don't listen to, and there is nothing wrong with you. If anything, a lot is wrong with those who have never given themselves a chance to be alone.